Back to this icebox. I don't think there's really anything else for us to possibly examine or ask about. So let's head back. Back across the old rickety bridge that Phoenix dreads. I can't say I blame him. Dusty Bridge. Phew! We managed to make it across Dusty Bridge. How many times do we have to say this, Maya? It's Dusky! D-U-S-K-Y! Nick, you look green. Are you feeling alright? Hey, what's wrong with you? Ever since we met Sister Iris at the training hall, you've been really quiet. Huh? Oh, sorry. Hey, you wait up! Huh? You think he's yelling at us? He?
Dick.
Who's he? Dick. He must be... There's no one else around. Try moving, you're standing right in my way! Butts! Hey, I know you, you're... Whoa, sorry, gotta run! See ya! Hey, wait a minute! Oh, nice to meet you. Shut it, Muds! What? Lori... down... You're not fooling anyone, Butts! Liar! You're Larry! Your clothes may change, but you're still the Butts! Shut up! I'm... Larry's! I'm just here to do a sketch of Dusky Bridge! So, it really is our Larry. But then I get why he's pretending to be someone else. So what are you doing with the last name Donim? I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. I may have said that last week. Well, I just wanted to start over again with a clean slate. A clean slate? You remember, don't you? Last time? The Mask to Moss case. After that, I started to realize I didn't like this guy known as Larry Butts. And that's when I came across it. The Book of Destiny. The Book of Destiny? Do you mean... The Magic Bottle by Elise Downham. So beautiful, so moving, so gentle. My heart felt cleansed. I was saved. Oh boy. Maybe I should buy a copy of the Magic Bottle. No, never mind. That's a completely different item. I was thinking for some reason the Magic Flute, from by Amadeus Mozart. Wow, Larry would make a great book salesman. I really want to get that book now, too. She's the most wonderful person I've ever met. I'd follow her anywhere. Well, she certainly is a very elegant lady. You see? Here's a photo I took of her in secret. What? Hey, come on! You know that's never gonna stop with me. Wow. Wow, that's a beautiful photo. You want a copy, don't you? It's okay. I just happen to have made extra prints. Well, brother, I will keep going. Still, it's kind of hard to imagine you as a picture book illustrator. So tell the truth, you must have some kind of ulterior motive, right? What are you talking about? I don't trust anyone anymore, especially not women. Talk about a bad case of denial. Anyway, can you even draw well enough to make a picture book? Art isn't the only technical skill, you know. It's also about having a pure heart. And that's why I'm asking, because you draw well enough to make a whole book? Now that you mention it, I wonder. It looks like you still have some doubt in your heart. Yeah, it's true, I do. But when I first saw it, I felt it. Something inside me ended, and something else began. Oh, Larry, it sounds like you've fallen in love with Miss Elise Downham. No, you're wrong. It's not her. It's the other girl. Other girl? Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Is the other girl, by chance, this one? Oh, yeah, her! My little Iris! Oh, Jesus Christ. This ain't gonna end well for Larry. He's gonna have to go to a psych ward in a straitjacket. She's really pretty. That girl, she's perfect. She's exactly my type. I wonder if she would model for me. I want to draw a portrait of her. Yeah, you always liked those model types, didn't you, Larry? Hey, wait a second. Did you say you were swearing off women? Huh? Well, yeah, that's right. Of course I have. I have, basically, but Iris is different. I feel like I still have one chance left at a dream. This guy will never change. Everyone! Pearls. Ow! Come on! Give me a break. Hey, Pearly. Dinner preparations are complete. Please come quickly to the main hall. All right. I can't wait to dig in, Pearly. I'm going to go to the inner temple and call Sister Iris. I also want to have a look at where Mystic Maya is going to be training. February 7th, 7:46 p.m. Hazakura Temple, main hall. Boy, I'm stuffed. Are you sure it's all right to eat that much before your training? Well, this kind of training is a battle of endurance. Mystic Maya, please don't do anything that might put your health at risk. No pain, no gain, I guess. I'm still worried about you. Well, let's not dilly-dally, shilly-shally. You must get ready for tonight. Good luck, Maya. All right, here I go. I'll see you all tomorrow, I guess. Iris, please ring the bell at 10 for lights out, all right? Yes, Sister Bikini. And then, after you ring the bell, I want you to come join us at the training hall. I understand, Sister Bikini. Maya and Bikini really seem excited about this training thing tonight. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? I'd love to. Pearls is absolutely smitten with Miss Downham. So, Larry, what are you going to do? Huh? Me? Well, I'm just gonna hang out in my room. I can't stand the cold at all. I totally hear you there. Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this? It says, gravely. That's kind of a tough word. Oh, okay. And what about this one? That's another tough one. It says, roast. Grave roast. What on earth? What kind of book is she reading anyway? Yeah, I'd like to know myself. Jeez. Well, I'm gonna wash the dishes and help clean up. I'll go visit you when I'm done, Miss Elise. Well, not much to do except head to my room and huddle under the covers, I guess. Wouldn't you like to know? 9:12 p.m. Hazakura Temple, main hall. Ugh, it's a whole different type of cold up here in the mountains. Ugh, why couldn't the nearest bathroom be just a little closer to my room? Mr. Wright. Yeah! Oh, Miss Downham. Are you going to use the bathroom too? No. But have you seen Pearl? No, not since after dinner. I thought you said she was going to your room. I know, but she never showed up. I'm going to look for her. Excuse me. Miss Elise Downham. A woman as mysterious in origin as her last name. But the really mysterious one is... Oh. Ah! Sister Iris! Good evening. The really mysterious one is this girl. Are you on your way to the bathroom too, Mr. Wright? I can't let this chance pass me by. I should try to talk with her, and maybe get some answers. Yep, looks very much like Dahlia. Your sister Iris, right? Yes. So, when did you come to Hazakura Temple? I don't remember. Ever since I was a small child, the temple has been my home. So you've never left? Well, I don't have any family left to take care of me. Sister Bikini, I've come to think of her as my real mother, as it were. Ah, I see. But didn't you go to college? And maybe enroll in Ivy University Literature Department? No, I've never had an interest in going into a big university like that. My training is all the education I need. I see. But once in a while when I get the chance, I make a trip to the nearby town. I can use a computer and cell phone too. That's not exactly something worth bragging about. But I don't see any Cyclops. So I guess that means she's not lying. Please don't stare at me like that. What kind of place is this anyway? I heard it's for training to increase your spiritual power or something like that. It must seem awfully crazy to normal people like you. Well, I have to admit, it's a whole different world up here. I'm glad to hear you say that. Huh? Talking with dead people. Who does it help anyway? I hate it. Really? So then why stay in a place like this? Ah! Is something wrong? I didn't realize it was so late. I have to go ring the bell for lights out. I guess it's almost 10 now, huh? Mr. Wright? Yes? If it's all right with you, I would like you to have this. But this is your hood. It has the power to protect you from evil spirits. Come to think of it, Sister Bikini was wearing one of these too. I pray for your safety on this dark and cold night. I'm sorry, but I must bid you good night. Oh, wait a minute, Sister Iris. Yes? Just now, you called me by my name. You said, Mr. Wright. How do you know my name? I never introduced myself to you. That's... Sister Iris, please tell me the truth. You and I... Have we ever met before? Five Cyclops! Iris. Uh-oh! It's almost 10. Perhaps we can speak again tomorrow. So my hunch was correct. She does know me. I'll have to try and talk with her again tomorrow. Ah! What the? That blood-curdling scream came from the courtyard. That scream, I'm sure it came from around here. Ah! Someone's there, on the ground! Miss Down him! I just stepped on something soft. Hey, don't step on my tummy like that! What are you doing lying there in the snow? I was passed out! What did you think? So that blood-curdling scream was you? Forget about that! Hurry up and call the police! Is there even a phone in the main hall? No, but we still get reception up here in the mountains. You must have a cell phone on you, right? I didn't bring it with me. Oh, you're useless! I mean, even Iris has a cell phone. We got no choice, you'll have to use the public phone by Dusky Bridge. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Run as fast as you can. Yes, ma'am. If you don't hurry, Iris will. Iris will. It's farther than I thought. The bridge is just up ahead. I have to go tell Maya what happened too. Ah! Dusky Bridge, it's burning down! What the heck happened? What are you doing here? Ah! Huh? What is it? Is it me? Don't scare me like that, Larry. I almost had a heart attack. My name isn't Larry, it's Larice! Larry, hurry up and call the police. I'm going to the inner temple. Don't be stupid! The bridge is nothing but a burning wreck right now! Listen to me, there's been a murder here at Hazakura Temple. What? The murder happened. It might have fled across the bridge. I have to make sure Maya is safe. But please, call the police. I've got to go. Get out of the way, Larry. It's too dangerous, Nick. Wait! I must have been crazy. I knew how dangerous it was, but I still went for it. Ah! Nick! Weakened even more by the fire, the rickety old bridge for a night snapped and gave way. And as I was swallowed by the eternal darkness that surrounded me, a final terrified scream rose up to pierce the frozen air of that harrowing night. To be continued. Jesus. Date. Time unknown. Location unknown. Who could that be at this time of night? Yes? Edgeworth speaking.
Edgy, get up! It's an emergency!
Huh? Larry? Do you know what time it is?
It's not Larry, it's Larice!
Larice, down him! Ugh. This is nothing more than a terrible nightmare. I'll just roll over and...
Wait, don't hang up! It's an emergency! It's Nick! He took a really nasty spill!
Well, it wouldn't be the first time, so...
I'm not joking! His life is in danger!
What? What happened? Tell me!
Talk about a guy with bad luck. He may already be dead. Anyway, you've got to come back. You're the only one that can help. My Iris. My beautiful Iris. She needs help.
All right. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there as soon as I can.
I'm at the detention center. Please, hurry!
It's been 1 year since I left that country. I thought I wouldn't have to see him again for a while. Sounds like it won't be a pretty reunion, as if I expected anything to change. So what, now I'm in control of Edgeworth? February 8th, 2:19 p.m., Detention Center, Visitors Room.
You're late, Edgy! What took you so long?
I don't want to hear it. I chartered a private jet to come as quickly as I could.
Well, you should have chartered a faster one. Anyway, just listen. Something happened to Miss Elise, and Nick is Maya, and Iris is Bikini. Say something, Edgy!
Before I came here, I stopped by the hospital and paid Wright a visit. I believe I have a better understanding of the situation than you at this point. The murder victim was the picture book author, Miss Elise Downen. She was found by Wright and the head nun. The suspect is the temple's younger nun. Then later, while Wright was crossing the bridge, it broke and he fell into the river. The hospital says that he'll need at least 2 days of bed rest.
Yes, that's right. You got it. But they arrested her, my sweet little Iris.
And here I was convinced he was the one the police had arrested. Yeah, I wonder why. However, I still don't understand what these 2 items are for.
What are you talking about?
The things Wright gave to me when I was leaving his room. This is the first. He said some nonsense about being able to see into people's hearts with this. And the other, he couldn't possibly ask what I think he is. And the other, he couldn't possibly be asking what I think he is. Could he? Is he asking Edgeworth to defend Iris?
I'm begging you, Iris's trial starts tomorrow. With Nick out of the picture, you are all I've got left. You're the only one that can represent her.
What did you just say?
You know, represent, defend. What were you expecting? But why do you think I called you anyway?
I'm a prosecutor, Larry, a prosecutor. Do you understand what I'm saying? A prosecutor is a lawyer who...
Don't talk to me like a kid. I graduated from junior high, you know. Don't worry about it. I promise I won't tell.
But
I mean, I heard a paper badge had a problem fooling an entire court before.
How could this country's judicial system have fallen to such decay?
Please, Edgy!
Come on! Give me a break.
At least listen to Iris' side of the story.
So Wright wasn't joking when he gave me this badge after all.
Thank you for coming. My name is Iris.
Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth. I don't know if I can be of any help, but I will at least hear what you have to say about the murder.
Mr. Wright, how is he? Mr. Lorry said that he might even die.
Fortunately, he will be fine. Larry, you moron! How could you say something like that? He was badly bruised when he hit the water, but otherwise he is unharmed.
Thank goodness.
But he's caught some kind of nasty cold.
A cold?
He's running a high fever and is drifting in and out of consciousness. I must be imagining things. This woman, I feel like I've met her before. Pardon me, Iris. I would like to ask you something, if you don't mind. I have the distinct feeling you and I have met before.
It must be your imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. After all, I hardly ever leave Hazakura Temple.
Hazakura Temple? What
What's that? It's a place where those who wish to boost their spiritual power come to train. You need to undergo some very difficult training to release your inner spiritual power. Spiritual power? Did you go to that temple for that reason as well? If you examine certain evidence profiles, they give different texts to how Phoenix sees them. Oh, interesting. Let me... Received from Wright. He wasn't serious when he gave this to me, was he? Received from Wright. Something about reading people's hearts. What utter nonsense. Received before the light... It's a... My friend since grade school fell from Dusky Bridge and is currently hospitalized. Homicide in charge initial investigation. My friend since grade school. I don't remember how we became friends though. Lise Downham, the victim of this incident. Picture book author, Larry's teacher. I know I've seen her somewhere before. So it's definitely not just Phoenix that has a hunch about Iris's true identity. So that I think solidifies that this could very well be Dahlia Hawthorne. In an attempt to turn a new leaf. Whether he did or not, well, that's a different story, but we'll see what happens. It's never too late to change, after all. No, I don't have any spiritual powers. I don't need them. In that case, what are you doing at that temple, then? I've committed some sins. Sins that I need to pay for. That's why I'm there, and why I continue to train. To purify my soul. I want to ask you about last night, the night of the crime. All right. I helped to clean up after dinner, and then went back to my room about 8. Later, I left my room to ring the lights out bell at 10. Bell? We ring it at the same time each night. I see. And then? I was told to go to the training hall, but I went back to my room and stayed there. Why didn't you go to the training hall like you were asked to? I was frightened. Frightened? So I just stayed in my room and meditated until the murder happened. There's more to her story. I just know there is. Maybe I should dig just a little deeper. You were asked to go to the training hall on the night of the murder? Just adjusting my chair here. Yes. However, you didn't go, because you say you were frightened. What exactly were you so frightened of? Two locks now. What in the world? Is there something wrong? I'm sorry, it's nothing. It looks like she's not aware of them herself. These must be what Wright was talking about. The psycho locks. It's just Cyclops, Miles. I believe he said that I need to present this Magatama item to do something. I think that's what they're called in the Japanese version. Well, I mean, yeah, it could be. I thought I remembered looking up about them myself, but I forgot that I found out. Feel free to dive into that and get back to me on that. So, do you have any idea as to what really occurred last night? I think it was the result of the tremendous spiritual power that was unleashed. Spiritual power? Yes, spiritual training has been a cause behind many great tragedies. This incident was just another example. Iris, I'm sorry, but I can't accept that. I'm a man of science. I don't believe in spiritual power. Yes, I understand. Most people don't. And I'm certain that the thing that killed the victim was a human. So please, answer me this simple question. Were you the one who killed Elise Downham? No, I'm not the one who took her life. Those psycho-locks things aren't appearing. I suppose that means I can believe that she's not lying. What's wrong? I can't believe what I'm thinking. Yep, psycho-locks is what they're called in Japanese. Okay. So a little bit of a carry-over Easter egg from the original translation. Here, I just finished saying that I don't believe in spiritual power. It appears that's all that you can tell me. Thank you very much for listening to my story. I visited Wright at the hospital before coming here. He asked me to take care of you. Me? Yes. At the trial tomorrow, he asked me to defend you. If Mr. Wright has that much faith in you, Mr. Edgeworth, then I will gladly entrust my fate to your capable hands. But before that, I have one question. Yes? Do you know Wright? Why would you ask that? Whenever you came up in our conversation, he would begin to act a little strange. Mr. Edgeworth, what is Mr. Wright to you? He is a very dear and indispensable friend. It was 5 years ago. That's when I deceived him. You deceived him 5 years ago. Isn't that when the first trial of this game? I heard that he was in a lot of pain afterwards because of what happened. I know what a weak person I am. That's why I thought it was best if he never saw me again. I wanted him to just forget about me without learning the truth. Well, if you ask me, Wright is still suffering, and until he learns the truth, I don't think he will ever be able to truly recover. Iris, it's not too late. You should go to him. Tell him the truth. I'll defend you, but only if you agree to that one condition. All right, Mr. Edgeworth. I promise. Very well. I'll do everything in my power to get you an acquittal. That's enough information gathering for now. I should head to the crime scene. So probably no use in trying to tempt the Cyclops at the moment. I wonder what Edgeworth says about some examinations. The guard is glaring at me. If someone glares at you, it's only polite to return the favor, is what I was taught. Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, excuse me. The camera is glaring at me. If something glares at you, it's only polite to return the favor, is what I was taught. Is something bothering you? Oh, excuse me.
Jeez, Edgeworth is glaring? Really? You know you can do more than just glare, edgy boy.
Skipped right to the suspension bridge. Oh yeah, all the boards are gone. Yikes. So the only way they would be able to get across the inner temple would be by helicopter. Or something else.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Momo?
Yeah.
It sure is cold, alright. So this is it. Dusky Bridge.
Oh, wow, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ugh. Detective Gumshoe.
Long time no see. It's been about a year? Or has it been longer?
It doesn't matter, Detective.
Yes, indeed.
Dusky Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Dusky Bridge is falling down.
In goes Phoenix.
It doesn't matter, Detective. What matters
Oh, come on! Ouch. That was worth it. I'll defend that.
It doesn't matter, Detective. What matters is why you're shuffling around up here.
Ooh, ouch! And there's that sharp left jab. Well, I'm happy to see you anyway, Mr. Edgeworth.
Let me guess. You were transferred by HR to the local precinct. A wise decision. The vast amount of nothing up here should be quite easy to guard.
I heard you are back in the country and arranged to come all the way out here. Everybody was real nice. They even let me take charge of the investigation, sir.
Gumshoe indeed. Like gum on your shoe, he's impossible to get rid of.
I'm supposed to report the details of the crime scene, sir. Anyway, here I am, Detective Dick Gumshoe, reporting for duty.
Great. Thank you, Detective.
I thought Aunt Prosecutor Godot was gonna get in here before me. Shut it, Muntz! That guy's a real mystery, I tell you.
Prosecutor Godot? I just got back into the country, so I don't really know much about the case.
It's simple.
Well, simple is as simple does, as they say.
Oh, you've got no idea how much I missed it. It's that biting sarcasm of yours, sir. But seriously, this one's a piece of cake. There's a witness that saw the whole thing.
A witness?
Yeah, that bikini lady.
Bikini lady here? On this freezing cold mountain, he does not know that bikini is her name. Oh boy.
Well, you should talk to her yourself if you want the details, sir.
I may have to talk to this bikini lady. I mean, decisive witness myself. They melt the bikini real good. Yeah, I figured as much. So, this is the bridge that Wright fell through? Yep. Can't imagine being that reckless myself. Look before you cross, is how it goes, right? Or was it that leap? And is there something on the other side? Yeah, some old building they call the Inner Temple. But we can't get over there without a bridge, sir. What? Nobody lives there, so it's usually not a problem. But someone was at the Inner Temple doing some training, and now they're stuck there. Yes, I heard that from Wright. It's Maya Fey. Oh no, her again? Anyway, the air's really turbulent right now, so we can't do an aerial extraction. Oh, great. No one's gonna be able to reach the Inner Temple until tomorrow, sir. Will she be alright in this cove? So how did this bridge burn down anyway? We're almost 100% sure it was lightning. Lightning? So who is this Prosecutor Goodell? I've never heard of him. Yeah, he's a new guy. Showed up after you left the country. He's a complete rookie, but no one can say a bad word about the guy. What kind of a man is he? He just became a prosecutor recently. Yeah, it's possible to have thunderstorms during snowfall. Yes, I know that. It's called thunder snow. And while exceedingly rare, it happens. Although, for some people it happens more frequently than others. Just ask Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel. He seems to be a magnet for thunder snow. He just became a prosecutor recently, but he's good, sir. Real good. If he's so good, how is it that I've never heard of him? Is he the lead prosecutor on this case? You bet he is! After all, you know who is right in the middle of it. You know who? Phoenix Wright, of course. For some reason, Godot has really got it in for Mr. Wright. Oh? Yeah, he seems to have some kind of a grudge. And what would be the cause of this grudge? I don't know. Maybe he made fun of his mask or something. I doubt it. None of this is making any sense. I better look into this Godot myself. You're telling me the bridge caught on fire due to a fluke bolt of lightning? Yep. Last night it snowed for the first time in 3 days. It's a little unusual for lightning to occur during a snowfall like that. Thank you for the pets, Wolf. Welcome on in. But according to the weather data, lightning definitely struck. Yep, so that definitely confirms that thundersnow did occur. I see. This is a very detailed weather report. Almost too detailed. It even has the exact time that the lightning struck the bridge. Oh, that? We got that information from the witness's testimony. Someone actually saw the lightning hit the bridge? Who is this witness? Sorry, I'll go ask for one of the local cops later, sir. Alright, so at least we have access to the main gate. February 8th, Hasakura Temple, main gate.
Yo, Edgy, what took you so long? I'm cold, my brain's turned to sherbet.
I knew it was a mistake to race back to this country.
What do you mean?
Wright is going to be fine, and the case itself isn't anything unusual. Present to the Magatama the Gumshoe quick. Oh, brother. I find myself taking a request to defend a woman accused of murder.
Hey, wait a second, hold it! Objection! What's going on? What's going on here, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's hard to explain, but one thing led to another, and...
Well, excuse me, you call yourself a defense attorney?
Prosecutor Edgeworth is a prosecutor, and that's why he's Prosecutor Edgeworth. Prosecutor Edgeworth, defense attorney, just sounds plain old weird, pal. Right. Prosecutor Edgeworth? I'm not sure what role I'm supposed to be playing anymore.
Dude, Edgy! I'll see you for a couple years, your heart turns to sherbet?
I'd say more like sorbet. It is rather cold here. I'm pretty sure I got that right the first time, sorbet.
Arson, murderer, someone else did it! I just know it, okay? So trust me on this one.
Ever the romantic, aren't you, Larry? Nevertheless, I'll do whatever I can to prove her innocence. At least until I pass the baton on to Wright, that is. Present the Magatama quick. I'm probably gonna have to move back to the suspension bridge. Yep. Have you ever seen this thing before?
Hey, thanks a lot. I was getting kind of hungry. What are you doing, detective? Ah! I thought it was some kind of candy that would fill me up, sir.
Lately, I've been feeling so hungry all the time. Ugh. Maybe his salary has been cut just a little too much.
You don't say? Good grief. Now he's got a chipped tooth.
Whoops. I quit the... It's not a secret stone. It looks like Iris is being interrogated right now. This place certainly brings back memories. Oh yeah, come to think of it, you got thrown in here once, didn't you, sir? But you know what? I've never been in jail a single time. I should think it's hard to land in jail when you're so harmless. Yes, well, if you're ever in jail, you don't have to pay for your own meals, you know. Don't get any funny ideas, detective. God damn it, Wolf. Too late, I already did. In any case, I guess I'll have to come back here later. So it looks like Gumshoe is Edgeworth's Maya in this, at least for this stretch.
Man, I'm telling you, Iris is so cute.
Okay, hold on before I get to you anymore. Okay.
Shut it, Muds! Right, Edgy? You think so too, don't you?
All right, let me have it. Thank you.
What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?
To put it simply, your
Oh, come on! What the hell was that for? I asked for one. I demand satisfaction. Jesus Christ.
To put it simply, your comment has me highly concerned. Could it be that the reason you think she's innocent...
Come on! A cute girl like that can't possibly be a murderer.
I was right after all. I should never have come back.
No, don't worry. I see things for how they really are this time. Honest.
If I had a penny for every time he said that...
It's just that, well, Iris is a delicate flower. You can't force things too much, know what I mean?
Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, Larry.
Oh. Forget it. I didn't say anything.
Huh? Larry, who are you and what were you doing on the night of the crime?
Funny he says that. They're not big. Ow! Come on!
Cut it out! They're not making more pennies now. Yeah. They're still in circulation, though. We've actually pretty much ran out of pennies at the bank. So now the only time we actually have pennies is if we have enough built up over time that we can make like a roll or two. Or circulate the bikini. No! Or if we're lucky enough to get orders in. Otherwise, we have not been able to get any bricks of pennies for months now. Shut it, months! Larry, where were you and what were you doing on the night of the crime? Larry?
What? Don't tell me. You think I may have done it?
What?
Get lost! Go back to your charter check and get out of my sight, you creep! I hope your plane crashes and you die!
Alas, just one more time. On the night of the murder, where were you and what were you doing?
Yeah, dick indeed.
Psychlocks! As I suspected, Psycholocks.
I'm sorry, man. You know me. I just don't remember. My short-term memory is a wreck, dude. Hey, I know I may not look like Ankit, but I'm an artist. I refuse to look at anything that doesn't have a radiant or beautiful motif.
You didn't even give it a glance. I wonder.
Wow, talk about insulting the mom of Maya, you dickhead.
Dick.
Big dick. Hey, hello there. So how are you feeling? Dicks in chat? No! Not literally.
All right, I suppose. Huh? Who is this? My name is Miles Edgeworth. My, a handsome boy such as yourself is always welcome. If circumstances weren't so tragic, I might just... Please don't call me boy. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I'm looking for a woman in a bikini. Well, you have found her. Now what can I do for you? I'm sorry, but I don't see any bikinis.
If you shut it, Muds! If you ask nicely, I might give you a peek. Oh my goodness.
Good grief.
All right, that's it. Good night.
I kid, of course. Oh, God. Of course we'll flick the old lady TL, for fuck's sake.
Laughing, it does not equate to automatic enjoyment. If any, he's probably getting a rise over my reaction. Shut it, nuts!
Oh, brother. I'm not even going to read that line. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, face faults, yeah.
This is the head nun, Sister Bikini. She's the witness.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Now I got tears in my eyes.
This is exactly why your salary keeps getting cut.
Oh, my stomach is already growling in protest.
So, what's the latest about my beloved Iris?
Well, first, I want to hear what you know.
First, I'd like to ask you about last night. Oh, last night, we had an acolyte here for training. After dinner, the two of us went to the training hall in the inner temple.
She must be talking about Maya. Approximately what time was that?
I suppose it was about 9 when we left here. Training lasts all night long. It's extremely exhausting. The channeling dojo's head nun must be in attendance at all times to keep watch.
Wow, you're right. That does sound exhausting.
Detective, this is no time for flattery.
Wait a minute, if she's supposed to be there at all times, then how did she get... Then why was she back in the courtyard?
Detective, this is no time for flattery.
Oh, sorry.
Sometime around 11, you witnessed the incident in the courtyard, but your duty was in the inner temple. Why did you come back here?
The way you're staring at me, I'm starting to get goosebumps.
Ugh, I'm starting to get goosebumps myself, but for a decidedly different reason.
Oh, you get the chills pretty easily, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth?
All right, then. I'd like you to tell me exactly what you saw in the courtyard.
It must have been past 11. Ah, no! I can't say it! It's too much for my poor heart!
Oh, hey, calm down, lady. Let go of my tie!
I saw two people. One of them was lying on the ground.
Jesus, that is visceral. The blade, not even the tip of the blade in the back. It's right through her chest.
The other one was stabbing her from the back with a sword.
Did you see this criminal? Oh, with your own eyes?
I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, but it was Iris.
Elise got airthed. Yikes.
You must have been quite shocked.
Of course she was. Try putting yourself in her shoes. It'd be like if you were stabbing Mr. Wright smack in the middle of the courtroom. And I happen to be the witness from the witness stand. I'd be pretty shocked too.
I know it sounds insane, but that's what I saw. And when I finally realized what I was seeing, I screamed. And then I passed out.
Unfortunately for us, her testimony seems to be pretty solid.
However, the idea of Iris doing such a foul act seemed unnatural.
Unnatural?
The girl I know is simply isn't capable of this sort of foulness.
I wonder what she means by that. As the head nun, it's your duty to stay with the acolytes at all times, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I know I may look strong, but in truth is, I've got a bad lower back.
A bad lower back?
Yes, it's especially bad in the winter, so bad that I can't even lift a bucket. You remember how cold it was last night? My back felt as stiff as frozen glass. I just want to take a nice hot bath to ease my aching back. That's why I returned to the main hall.
So you left the disciple all alone?
Don't be ridiculous! I would never do that! That's why I ordered Iris to the inner temple after she had rung the bell for lights out.
Yes, but she never went to the inner temple, did she? So did this head nun actually see Iris there? I think I better try to get some more details. So who is this acolyte that was to train at the inner temple?
Her name is Maya Fey. I treated her very badly, I'm ashamed to say. And after she went through the trouble of signing up for the special course.
Special course?
It's a training session where you sit on a block of spirit ice and chant 30,000 times.
You don't mean to tell me she's still doing that at the inner temple, do you?
No, of course not. You don't have to worry about that one little bit.
Last night we still hadn't started the training session itself. Well, that's good to hear. Oh, dear! There's one thing I forgot to tell you. Uh-oh, I don't think I like the sound of this. Do you know that small girl? I believe she's Mystic Maya's little sister. Maya's a little sister? Oh, you mean Little Pearl. That's Maya Faye's cousin. Little Pearl? I thought she was going to visit Mystic Elise after we'd finished with dinner cleanup. But I haven't seen her at all since last night. She's nowhere to be found.
You mean she was with the victim?
That's right, Mr. Edgeworth never met Pearl. Yeah. It's all the fault of my stupid creaky old back. Yeah, and during the end of the last game, Pearl was channeling Mia. So he never formally met her. At all. A little girl who was with the victim on the night of the murder
Is gone? As I say, the plot thickens.
Oh, this poor girl. Where could she have gone?
Well, we checked out her home and she's not there.
She's nowhere in the vicinity of the temple either. Which means there's only a few other possibilities as to where she could be.
Ah! You think maybe she fell off the bridge and was carried downstream?
Why do you have to be such a pessimist, Detective?
I was just trying to think like you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ironic, I became a pessimist only after I had the pleasure of working with you. Oh. Oh! How could such a terrible thing have happened? It's all my fault!
Well, come on, lady. I don't think you need to blame yourself.
Quiet! What would you know anyway?
Ouch! You're scary. Did she slap him? Slap the dick!
That stupid 5 o'clock shadow and that stupid old coat of yours. It's too bad you weren't the only one that disappeared.
Ouch! Why does she have to take it all on me? Dick's up for the dick. No! Not literally!
Her anger does seem a little manufactured.
And this is where the murder took place, sir. Other than removing the body, we left everything else untouched.
Thanks, Detective. I'll just have a look around. Looks like the police are still investigating.
Oh yeah, by the way, I thought I'd better ask, just to be sure. You really gonna defend that nun, Iris, at the trial tomorrow? Jeez.
Yes, I will. I gave her my word, now I must follow through with my commitment.
Well, in that case, I gotta be careful. Gotta make sure I don't leak the prosecutor's whole investigation.
Don't worry about it, Detective. Just keep your mouth closed, and I'll think most of it will flow out on its own.
You got it, sir. I'll make sure it flows out like water from a tap.
Yes, you do that, Detective. Just how much has your runny spout leaked over the years?
The victim is the famous picture book author, Miss Elise Downen. Her entire past, up until she won that writing award last year, is a total mystery.
It's hard to believe in this day and age you could still find people like that.
The estimated time of the victim was between 10 and 11 p.m. on February 7th. Cause of death was blood loss resulting from a stab in the back by the murder weapon.
The murder weapon?
And the victim was found skewered with a giant sword, sir.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but there's one strange thing.
Yes?
The victim's entire body was covered with bruises. The bruises are consistent with falling from the height of a 2-story building.
A 2-story building? That would be about the same height as that room in front of us, correct?
Hey, you're right. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. That just happens to be the room that Elise Downham was staying in.
She was pushed out of the window after she was stabbed by the sword? Now then, Detective. Let's see if we can summarize what we've learned so far.
Okay, let's take a look at the map.
According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun, right after they finished dinner, she and Maya Fey headed to the inner temple. At 10 p.m., after ringing the bell for lights out, Iris went to the inner temple. When she got there, Bikini had her take over while she went back to Hazakura Temple. After taking a hot bath to soothe her back, Sister Bikini witnessed the murder in the courtyard. If you want more details, you should ask Bikini yourself in the main hall. The inner temple, huh? I'd like some more information about that place. The trial begins tomorrow, but who's the prosecutor? Pretty sure it's that Godot guy, but nobody can get a hold of him, so they're looking for a replacement. What do you mean? It's really weird. All of a sudden, no one can reach him. I wonder if the rumors are true. Maybe since Mr. Wright caught a cold and won't be defending, he just lost interest. Yes, I intend to appear in court in the role of defense attorney. However, I would be quite unhappy if it came out that I'm actually a prosecutor. Yeah, I can see why, but I'm not the one you have to worry about. I think the real problem is going to be that judge. Yes, he certainly would remember my face even after such a long absence. That's why I requested that another judge preside over the trial tomorrow. Oh god, is it the hoser judge? We've only met each other once. There's a good chance he won't remember me at all. Yeah, but what about the prosecutor? Everyone in the prosecutor's office must know you. Wouldn't it be a problem if someone there made a big stink, sir? There's no need to worry. I pulled a few strings and arranged for a prosecutor of my own choosing. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. I had no idea you had such a powerful string to pull. Oh boy. Thought you could get rid of me, eh? What is this inner temple that Maya was supposedly training at? Well, according to Bikini, it's an old building they use for training the acolytes. It's on the other side of Dusky Bridge. The bridge that burned down, huh? Is there anything else on the other side of that bridge besides the inner temple? Nope, not a thing. Nothing? The other side is surrounded by cliffs on all sides. In a way, it's kind of like a little island out there. So the only thing there is the inner temple. Here it's not the kind of place a person could survive in. Please be alright, Maya. Okay, not gonna lie, I am kind of digging the investigation music from Miles here. It's a lantern. I suppose they lit it tonight. There's something elegant about the light of a fire. At the end of each month, I always like to relax in my room by candlelight. Detective, can you not afford to pay your electricity bill? How did you know? What's this? It looks like a wizard's staff. That belonged to the victim, Miss Elise Downham. Where's the orb? There's nothing strange or magical about it. Oh yeah, listen. Listen, this is just between us, okay, sir? Yes. What? This is top secret stuff. Don't tell anyone about this. All right. The truth is, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard. Miles giving that Zvornak 1,000-yard stare right now through his soul. I put the orb in Wolf's butt as a... Oh, for Pete's sake. Wow! Hold on, do I happen to have some? Oh, whatever. Close enough. That's it? That's what you wanted to tell me? That's it. The stuff was made from a very strong kind of wood. What about fingerprints? Were there any on it? Just the victims. Ah, I just love skiing. Really? You don't, seem like the type. Well, what about sleds? Sleds? Nah, they're a little too kiddie, you know? Messes with my hard-boiled image. You mean hardy-boiled? And the sorting hat says, Hufflepuff. Welcome in, Metro. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I could probably see Dick as a Hufflepuff. What's
with the silence, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the world starting to go mad. The fuck is a Hufflepuff? It ain't a Pokemon, I'll tell you that. Even though it does sound like it. At a glance, it probably sounds like a very puffy Jigglypuff. All the floof. That's a... Original character, do not steal. That's Jumpluff. There already is one. Shoot. Oh well. Is the world starting to go mad?
The main gate must just be over that stone wall.
Ah, stone walls. I jumped over a few of those in my time. I said original character, do not steal.
Muff.
Most of them are good memories, but not all.
Detective, perhaps someone should introduce you to the concept of paucity of work. Wait, paucity of words?
What? Someone Google that.
The main hall of Hazakura Temple is above us here.
Hey, you're right, but I'm pretty sure the main hall didn't have a second floor.
Hazakura Temple is built on a steep part of the mountain. The front and back of the main hall are on different levels.
Oh, that makes sense. But wouldn't it be easier just to build the place slanted, sir?
I fail to see how you consider that to be an even remotely good idea.
No, you don't pay me.
So the sword from this gold statue is actually the murder weapon.
Given how heavy that thing is, I'd find it hard to believe, given Iris' stature, that she would have the strength to wield it. Especially if we're going back on the logic from the first game with that other lady. So the sword from this gold statue is actually the murder weapon?
Sure is. It's called a Shichishito, by the way. Nasty piece of work, sir.
Maybe it's some kind of super light metal. Maybe. There's still blood on it. I suppose this is the victim's blood?
Yep, it's all over the blade. And speaking of all over the blade, there are fingerprints all over the hilt of the Shichishitos, too.
Fingerprints?
Naturally, they match the prints we got from the younger nun, the defendant. Fingerprints are on the murder weapon? What's wrong? You're looking really solemn.
Is this how it is for Wright? Is this what it's like to be a defense attorney?
Jumpluff is the original Pokemon, you numpty. Oh, brother. You're lucky that Miles can't use the bonk feature on you. Fake news, AI.
To be honest, it feels more like it's detrimental to your health.
Shishito added the court. There doesn't appear to be anything else to possibly look for here.
Oh, so I think I may have already told you about this, but the truth is,
You wanted to become a wizard, right?
hey, that's amazing! How did you know that? So, what do you think? I make a real good one, don't you think?
We just had this conversation a little while ago, Detective! Yeah, I mean, what happened to... Yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna play a significant role somehow. Anyway, so there doesn't appear to be anything else we can look for or examine here, so let's head back to the main hall. That thing sure casts a strong presence over the whole room. This is the Lesser Magatama. It's a precious heirloom containing a great many souls. Huh? This is lesser? What is the greater one like? The greater Magatama is displayed in the main room of Fey Manor. It was supposed to be shown at the Treasures of Korean exhibit, but it was so large they couldn't bring it through the doors. It's an altar with a giant Magatama shrine on it. Lots of candles lined up on it, too. You know, I haven't had a birthday party for myself in a while. Maybe you should blow out those candles over there to make up for that. Mr. Edgeworth, would you mind singing happy birthday to me? Stop that! Cut it out! Please don't blow out the altar candles! There are more Enza cushions in the corner of the room. What's that white piece of paper sticking out from under that stock?
Beats me.
you mind checking that out for me, Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir. Here you are, Mr. Edgeworth.
Wow, that's a crumpled manila envelope. It looks like an old manila envelope.
Yeah!
What is it, Detective? What is it, Detective?
This could be it. Notes are important clue. A super special clue.
I suppose I should read it myself, then.
Looks like a letter addressed to Sister Iris.
Tonight at 10, Heavenly Hall, unless you want your secret to be exposed. This sounds like a blackmail letter.
Nice going there, Mr. Edgeworth. Why can't I ever find clues like that? Colonel's an important prosecutor, a super-duper prosecutor.
Well, I suppose it makes it super-duper kind of dumb to miss a clue like this. There's flowing script written everywhere on the walls.
Man, I bet you have awful nightmares if you try to sleep here.
This is our main hall. It's protected by a variety of magic spells and charms. They're all designed to prevent evil forces from entering. So if I slept here, the Uggy Woogie Swiggy Swiggy coming for the booty boogie man wouldn't hunt me down for eternity? Alright. Does this guy ever think about anything other than eating and sleeping? Oh, hey, come on! You kind of put it in my brain there.
Oh, it's a warmed cat box, but where are all the cats?
It's called a hibachi. It's for heating the room.
Oh, look at these ancient straw frisbees.
Those are a type of zabuton cushions called enza.
Why are you giving me such a hard time, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Why?
Because learning something new might actually be a good thing for you, Detective. I almost feel like this has suddenly become an Abbott and Costello routine. Can you just imagine the Who's On First audio going back and forth between Miles Edgeworth and Dick Gumshoe? The voice pitch might be off, but given their like the age difference, what is their ages anyway? Yeah, Edgeworth is like what, in his mid-20s now? Oh, as of this game? 25, give or take? Well, that's what Phoenix and Maya do anyway. Yeah, I know. Oh, but... yeah, I know, but I feel like it kind of fits Edgeworth and Gumshoe a little more because Miles is more of a straight man than even Phoenix is. So I feel like that would end up being hilarious to think about. Yeah, Gumshoe is 32. Oh, so he's only 7. What? Excuse me? Gumshoe is 32 years old? I would have guessed he was in his middle ages by now, at least 40. What the hell? Hell, just to give you some perspective, I'm gonna be 35 next month, and I look older than him. That'd be one hell of a show, Miles and Gumshoe, Criminal Minds. Well, cops do age faster given the nature of their job. Yeah, true. But I'm not a cop, so I go back to my earlier comment.
About this here.
Let me see. Well, as you may know, in order to see reality for what it truly is, we strive to break our attachments to much of the transient material realm. I guess you could call me an immaterial girl.
I guess she lives in an immaterial world, huh?
Oh, brother. Well, whose fault is that, hon? Shut up! Well, that's a demon warding hood. Acolytes are highly susceptible. Shut it, Munts! Acolytes are highly susceptible to possession by evil spirits, you know. That's why we always wear these for protection. Oh, I see. What are you waiting for? You won't get any protection just by holding it, you know. Put it on already!
No, I can't. I was just...
Oh, it's like it was made just for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh my god, did he actually put it on? What do you mean by that, Detective? Looks absolutely marvelous. You just gotta keep it on for a while. Is this some sort of divine retribution? That's one of the Fey Clan's very own Magatamas. That's a priceless treasure you've got there.
Wow, I'm impressed, sir. You've never failed to surprise me.
Yes, you don't look it, and now I can see you're a real fan of the occult. Excuse me. Oh, of course this piece couldn't possibly be real, but have such a nice replica. Clearly you are a big fan of the Korean tradition.
Wow, I'm impressed, sir. You've never failed to surprise me.
I should have known better than to show this thing around.
About this here.
Okay, maybe Do you know anything about this old crumpled up letter? Is that addressed to Iris?
Yep, clear says to Iris on it.
I can't believe it. That girl doesn't have any That girl doesn't have any secrets from me. I wonder if this should have been Hyde. Ah, so Sister Bikini didn't know anything about it. I don't see Larry anywhere.
Maybe we scared the poor kid away.
His heart was shut tight with a number of psycholocks. I guess I'll have to look for him now. What a thorn in my side. This gate looks quite old, strong enough to resist the weight of time.
That's Mr. Edgeworth, I know. You got a real flair for words, sir.
I've always appreciated this kind of old timeless elegance.
That's exactly how I feel, too. Take this coat, for example, like a fine wine. It gets better with age.
You might have enough evidence to break Iris's locks now. Even fine wine turns to vinegar and begins to stink at some point. I suggest you wash that atrocious rag you call a coat, detective. I suppose this type of thing is necessary up here in the mountains.
Say, this just gave me a great idea.
Something tells me he's going to tell me what's on his mind, whether I like it or not. While other age like milk. Blech. At that point, that's just spoiled. That's just spoiling.
Got an idea for a brand new invention. It might even make me rich.
Yeah. Age like milk into something you can chew. Ugh. Speaking of, I have chocolate milk now. I like chocolate milk.
You've got an idea for a brand new invention. It might even make me rich.
An invention?
Yeah, a car that can travel on snow. I call it a snow car.
I believe there's something like that in some shape or form already.
So what do you think, sir? Would you go for a ride on something like that?
Only after you take the first 1,000 test rides.
It's got a pickup with 4-wheel drive.
That must be the main hole back there.
Really deduction, sir.
Are you trying to flatter me, Detective Gumshoe?
I'll probably use the suspense to build the tension, sir.
According to Wright, the head nun has some important information. I can't miss the opportunity to speak with her. I already did. I can see a small bell tower from here.
Hey, that just reminded me. There's something I've always wondered about.
Something tells me he's going to tell me what's on his mind. Oh, God.
We call a person who tells a liar, right? So why don't we call all the person who rings a bell a beller? Or truer for a guy who tells the truth. Oh, man, I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight.
I had no idea I have no idea he was such a deep thinker. Alright, back to the detention center. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. I came back because I need to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. But I've already told you everything that Iris, please remember. I'm on your side. You can tell me anything. Yes, thank you. I just finished speaking with the head nun of Hazakura Temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. She said she saw you stab Miss Elise Downham with a sword. And one other thing. She said that when Maya Fey began her training at the Inner Temple, you were there as well. What? When I spoke with you last, you claimed that you never went to the Inner Temple. And yet, Sister Bikini says she met with you at the Inner Temple that very night. But I didn't go there. I didn't go to the Inner Temple last night. Looks like she's unwilling to tell me the whole truth. I wonder if I'll find the answers I'm looking for if I break those psycholocks.
Take that! No! Take that!
Since I have been handed this case, it's my duty to take up all the answers. Understand? Yes, sir. Smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again. That's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the end of the temple last night? Yes, I swear. I already told you that. Yes, you said you didn't go because you were frightened. That's right. If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so afraid of? Iris, I wonder, is this what frightened you so much that you couldn't even leave your own room? Take that! I found this in the main hall. It's addressed to you. Ah, that's... Well, Iris, why? Why are you glaring at me like that? You were scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you. Isn't that correct? Ah! Was the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that lock? Oh well, I don't suppose it matters either way. But, Mr. Edgeworth... Yes? I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me. Prank? Well, yes. After all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell it to that would cause me any grief. I wonder about that. Sister Bikini's like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her. Scared of the blackmail? Excuse me? Blackmailer! Listen, Tidy. Oh, come on! Slip of the tongue. Scared of the blackmailer. I would never hide anything from her. No, you may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. However, last night was different. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. However, whatever it is, there was one person you didn't want your secret told to. Take that! Phoenix Wright. You mean something to Wright, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well. That's why you didn't want him, of all people, to know your deep, dark secret. Well, what do you have to say? I should have expected as much. Especially from a friend of his. Yeah, very bad play on words back there. Blackmailer. After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it. What was this heavenly hall that the letter mentions? It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge. A small shack, huh? It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near. Where's this on the map? It's around here. To get there, you must follow a small path down from Dusky Bridge. The reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. But the thought of that such a terrible criminal could be lurking at Heavenly Hall. I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't even ever want to think about it. So this is the secret that you locked away in your heart? Yes. It looks as though I may have to visit this Heavenly Hall now. Almost in your own purple newt moment. You mean with the purple riches, bitches? Maybe I'll find some sign of our mystery blackmailer. Ya hear that? I said blackmailer. Just to make it clear. Ow, hey, come on. In any case, you still claim to have... Oh, come on! What was that? You had your fun. Quit it. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night. Yes, that's exactly right. Iris's testimony rang out and was in her room until the murder was discovered. The trial starts tomorrow. I promise you, I will win. I'm going to win so that you and Phoenix Wright can see each other again. But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret. But it's pointless. Why would you say that? Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is, but he has no idea who I am. All right. What the frick? Well, we now know who hijacked the hall. Whoa. Not much of a view down here, huh? Still better than the view from my apartment, though. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective.
Oh, why? Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Japan. Next it's going to be prison, I guess. I'll steal that detective's wallet. They'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck.
He's just talking to himself.
Shh! Be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again.
Done that? What did he do, I wonder?
Hey, you! About what you just said! I've got an objection!
What the? Edgy, you dirty rat!
Oh, Gumshoe, you oaf! I'm sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was shouting objection! And in a loud, commanding voice, too! I even pointed with my pointer finger!
You've watched too many trials.
Oh, I'm sorry!
Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? What is this little shack anyway?
Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday.
And why were you down here in the first place?
Come on, I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great little place. It's, artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Nyah, nyah, nyah.
Sounds like a lot of, like my apartment there, pal.
One thing's for sure, no one is likely going to show up and disturb you here.
Ow.
Dick.
So, can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe? Nyah, nyah.
He's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir.
Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris.
Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute?
Watch your mouth! Anyway, I made up my mind about it. I'm gonna marry that girl.
Marry that girl. Marry her anyway.
Yeah.
It's funny, about the hot water, I keep getting customers wanting hot, warm water or tea, despite us serving hot drinks like... not serving hot drinks like... ever. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked that girl to marry you?
No, not yet. I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. You got this. I really want to marry this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. You never imagined I could marry such a beautiful girl like that.
Something tells me he would be shocked indeed.
That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt?
What's this guy trying to say? He lost me about out a mile back. If you really want to know the answer to that, I'm going to have to drag him out onto the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you, who, and what were you doing last night?
Aw, man. Don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never get be a ladies' man like me. Okay, chill out with those scary eyes. I got it. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible.
Something incredible? And there's the lot.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water.
Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? Oh. This is the Eagle River, sir. It runs pretty fast, so it doesn't ice over, even in the winter. If it had iced over, Wright would have been in some serious trouble. Right about that. He would have landed on the ice and slid downstream to who knows where. That would have been the least of my concerns. Even though, that would have been a surefire death. My concern would be, had even part of it iced over, is that he fell down deep enough that he would have slid under the ice sheet. Not exactly what I meant, but all right. I wonder if Edgeworth came to the same conclusion. What's this festive-looking ornament?
Reminds me of art class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating the classroom with origami, remember?
Well,
Oh, yeah, you were never any good at it.
Really?
Yeah, this guy was so bad he couldn't even fold $1, let alone a crane. Everyone tried to comfort him, but he would just sit there sobbing.
Really? I never would have expected that. Be quiet already! I never forgot the shame of that day. You want a crane? I can now make a perfect 1/4-inch crane without a single flaw.
You know, Edgy, nothing for nothing, but a 1/4-inch crane without a single flaw is not easy.
Yeah, that's quite a feat, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Oh, this is exactly why I hate childhood friends.
That's a horrible graffiti problem you got there, pal.
You don't know anything, Detective. This is art. It's an expression of my bittersweet love for Iris.
Larry, do you know what the difference is between graffiti and true art is?
It's how the artist himself defines it, right?
I should have seen that one coming.
Well, if that's the case, then all my lunchboxes are masterpieces too, pal.
Oh, I wonder about that. The straw roof is totally covered with freshly fallen powdery snow.
Wow, makes a nice image, doesn't it?
I always did like the rustic look. Heavenly Hall. I suppose it's an appropriate name in some sense.
You got that right. Look at that bridge. Up there. This place has to be heaven because that thing is hell.
Theme music sounds glitchy.
Well, in a sense, this is a glitchy man.
This is a sacred place to some people.
Time to delete the glitchy man.
It's a little far, but I have a pretty clear view of Dusky Bridge from here.
Ah, I still can't believe it, really.
Huh? What is it, Larry?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Sounds pretty suspicious to me.
Something about that statement smells, and you know what they say.
Yeah, we've heard it so many times you don't even have to say it. All right, time to break these locks.
Take that!
All right, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night.
Wow, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk.
Huh? That was a bit too easy.
Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I've been sleeping, I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The world in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi.
And then?
And then, it was on fire! The bridge was on fire!
Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying that you saw it with your own eyes?
Hey, why you give me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth!
There are still 3 psycho locks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen?
Where you say? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Just answer the question.
I was in my room by the main hall. Where else would I be?
As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there.
There? What do you mean, there?
It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike Big Dusty Bridge from your room. Yeah, I have a feeling the map itself would probably point out the contradiction in that statement.
Take that!
This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple.
What am I looking for?
I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees and impossible to see the bridge from here.
What? Why didn't you tell me that before?
Well, how about it?
How about what?
Do you feel like talking now?
About what?
It looks like we won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. We'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then where were you?
You don't know what I was in. You don't know that I wasn't in my room.
So where was Larry, and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning striking Dusty Bridge from was here.
Take that!
The place you saw the lightning strike from was naturally Heavenly Hall.
But why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold. There's no electricity, and it could fall apart at any minute.
Larry, How do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet.
Ah! Uh-oh.
In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory is that you have at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset.
I have to admit, I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick.
That's nice. Now, tell me.
Not easy as breaking old bag Cyclops last time. Yeah.
Just one piece of evidence and it broke 5 locks in one fell swoop. What were you doing at this cold little shack last night?
That's what you might call fair decor.
I think you mean a fair decor. Decor. Could it be that you were waiting for someone?
Oh, no! You really are one scary guy, you know?
I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come meet you.
Take that!
There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry.
I told you before. Don't call me Larry.
The person you were waiting for was Iris.
Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Edgy.
No doubt because of my chilly glare.
But, so, you think I got at the hots for Sister Iris, huh? Don't you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for her? Or are you just guessing?
This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here is the evidence that proved you were waiting for Iris. Well, call the bluff, I guess.
Take that!
Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter.
Oh, hey! Give that back! You're embarrassing me! What are you doing with that anyway?
I imagine Edgeworth is probably holding it up out of his reach. That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry.
What do you mean?
Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that? You should be ashamed of yourself!
Oh!
First of all, what is this at the top of the letter? It says, salutation here?
Well, that's what it said in the book, letter writing for dummies.
You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris.
I'm so sorry!
Well, it may not have been easy as breaking the old bags, but I went through flawlessly. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you?
Sorry, Edgy.
Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag, threatening a young lady like that! Ouch! even the dick is like, you son of a bitch!
Wait, hold up.
What now, pal?
What are you talking about? What threatening stuff?
I'll tell you what, you tried to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal!
What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her?
Unless you want your secret to be exposed. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact.
Give me a break, it's a love letter. Have you ever been in love?
What did you just say?
My love for her burned so hotly it could melt all the snow on this mountain.
Oh, then what is this secret you mentioned?
Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret of love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want an old lady bikini to know about it, right?
About
our hot, sour, bittersweet love affair.
All right, then why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope?
Give me a break. It's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh. Okay, come on.
And why were you so quick to apologize, pal?
It's because Edgy gave me that scary look of his. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden?
That's it? That's what those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive.
Ow! Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Hey, come on. Did I get you down?
But, Mr. Edgeworth, this guy's still hiding something. I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy just said a minute ago.
Really want to know? Last night, I saw something incredible.
He's right. Larry!
What? You're looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone.
What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another.
I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge.
Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true.
What doesn't?
If that's all there is to your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I do believe you saw something last night, something more incredible than lightning.
What? When? Where? Why? How?
Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal! Another set of locks? 5? No! What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again?
What are you glaring at me like that? I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning.
I've just about had it with this harlequin. If I really want to egg the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. To be continued.
God damn it, Larry. Something incredible, but yeah, you saw Phoenix fall. You literally were reaching out to Phoenix as he fell.
Yeah. February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 1.
Oh my, Mr. Lorisse feels that way about me?
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all.
This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was, he saw it on the night of the incident. Mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
Does that mean Mr. Lorisse the witness today?
No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini.
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dowden, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well then.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed...
Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements.
I see.
Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That is what my friend told me once.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself, whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted.
Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands.
February 9th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Order in the court. Will everyone please rise? Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's the prosecution? The defense does appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in the ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Oh, fuck no! Franziska von Karma!
The prosecution stands ready.
And you are Girl Boss returns. And you are...
Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma, you say? Perchance you would be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma.
Legends are a thing of the past. I am von Karma. That is all. Upon the special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm almost certain I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
Ms. von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man amongst those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't? But I'm sure once before in this courtroom. Ack!
I told you there is no such weakling.
What is that? A whip? I can't. I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at.
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip.
You don't?
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Felix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the historic.
Allow me to add to things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Wah!
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Very well. Ms. Von Karma, please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible.
Miles did arrange all this. He called her to be the prosecutor. Grobot Edgies is wearing Phoenix's badge. Yeah. The murder victim is famed picture book author Miss Elise Downen. Her body was found at Hasakura Temple in the Hasakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from the golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct?
Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Do we need a donut crate?
Witness, state your name and occupation, please.
Hold it there. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor old lady, please. It's Cody all over again.
Once again, your name and occupation, please.
Little old me? I'm the head nun of Hasakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
This poor judge is gonna get traumatized before this is all said and done. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now.
Wow! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis on a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in the summer.
In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that.
Jiggly cheeks.
On the face! Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements at night, eh?
That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the Inner Temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and return to Hasakura Temple. There's no bath at the Inner Temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it!
So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hasakura Temple.
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I could see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle. Now, are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
Okay, let's see here. All right, let the pressing begin.
Hold it!
You left Iris to help. With what?
What do you think? The acolyte training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper.
Wasn't your... Ugh. Oh my god, I'm about to get distracted just by doing all these voices.
Wasn't it in your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so that they don't pass away.
Just to confirm this point again that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct?
Yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. She never once failed to follow my directions.
Your brain going cross-eyed with all these voices? Maybe.
Hold it!
So you returned to Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath?
My back is to blame for everything. It's a do-or-be-done kind of world, after all.
How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking?
My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know it's not on your mind. Oh. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to watch the young ones.
What are you going on about? I was... Ugh!
Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth.
The lowest of the low. Is there some sort of kick-me sign stuck to the defense's bench?
Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand?
Now that would have been a reasonably important question. How long were you in the bath for would have established a timeline, but I guess that logic has gone right out the window here.
Hold it!
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct?
When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard.
That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case.
That certainly seems to be true.
There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are.
Hold it!
What is this inner temple?
Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right?
Well, the ones we'll be the one to ask you the questions, ma'am.
In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes would spend an entire night there to undergo intense training.
And how exactly do you help with this process?
It's all quite exciting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising.
Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place?
Hold it!
Violently?
That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in the winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training.
On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again?
That's right, ragging like a bull in a pigpen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off.
Okay. So let's take a look at what we got here. 7 to approximately 10:50. Lightning struck around 10:45. 30 minutes passed between the fire starting going out. Okay, so the problem being is that somehow she was there in 2 places at once. Feeling that the autopsy report might play a role. Oh, wait a minute. I think the timeline of her testimony might be a contradiction here.
Objection!
Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple. Thank you for the pets. In that case, Ms. Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the intertemple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
Objection!
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. What? All people lie. That is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Hey, I took a whipping over a completely logical question, you hoser. So quit your bitching. Anyway, neither the witness or the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means you must call your memory into question.
Dear.
You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, dude. You're older than you. Hold on a moment. She's 48 years old. How old is this hoser? 50? 55? What? Jeez. Unfortunately, we don't have a profile for the judge, so we can't confirm that. Smash! Oh, shut up! Well, that isn't exactly what my memory is perfect, crystal clear. Especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do a trick.
Then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination.
Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. That I also question. If she was... The thing is, she gave Phoenix her hood.
Objection!
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing. Thank you for the pets. I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
I think she just said, I just heard the record scratch go off in her head.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That is the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung.
What?
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood.
Well. Oh my god, how many crates are there? Even Cody didn't need that many boxes. There must have been 2 or 3 crates there. Jeez.
It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it.
Order in the court. Witness, you're responsible.
Sister, this hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you?
Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them.
I see, a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh?
Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owns.
Then this is quite strange. Wah! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she would have worn one of those. There was no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony to doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
I finished my bath.
Oh, excuse me.
I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was... Oh, Mystic Elite! And with that sword, of all things! Mystic Elite was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
I already see the contradiction there. Possibly.
You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in court. Me! Seeing it all from this very chair. Didn't we just go through this with Gumshoe? Well, something like that.
This judge. His imagination about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe.
Right ahead of you on that, Miles.
I would look the fool it committed on. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everybody by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
Hold it!
How far is it from your room to the inner temple?
Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge.
Still, you never made it back there that night, did you?
That's right. I was walking along the walkway toward the main hall. And as I was walking back...
Hold it!
You say you heard a noise.
Thump! Just like that.
That could only be the sound of the victim falling.
It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You could even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. I've heard snow fall from branches. That would have to be a pretty thick pile for it to happen. Although, it doesn't take much, to my experience, depending on how long it's been sitting there before it falls.
But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground?
I never thought of that.
Wow!
The next one to laugh gets a fipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and snow!
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to think on that. I think about that or say that word otherwise. Fuck the snow. At this point in time, yes. I personally forbid myself to say that word, at least outside this context, for story's sake, until November. Or whenever it starts falling in October. That's it.
Hold it!
This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims.
Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking man doesn't mean give you the right to...
The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword, Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can.
Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something has been bugging me all this time.
Please, don't keep us in suspense.
Her hood!
Her hood?
That's right! It's coming back to me! Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood! I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Ugh!
Huh. You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth.
What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important?
Oh boy.
Or late September, if I recall. Ah!
Oh boy.
I feel like this would ing me at this point.
This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment.
Your Honor, I would like that these new statements to be added to the testimony.
Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip.
Witness, add the statement to your testimony.
No problem.
Hold it!
You're sure about that?
Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean because we're poor, you understand? It's our style. Yes, that's it.
There's absolutely no need to explain yourself.
Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out.
Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my fip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else.
Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it.
Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim, eh?
Hold it!
The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct?
Which means the victim's room was on the second floor?
No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of the two-story building.
I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct?
Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room, after all. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
Hold it!
What makes you so sure of all this?
It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump! Just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in the winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. There's only 2 of them working there. What's wrong, That's wrong, Miles Edgeworth. No snappy comeback remark? It doesn't feel like she is lying. It's very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client's iris and my own abilities as a defense attorney. Let me look at the autopsy report here.
I feel like the crime photo is the contradiction. I initially thought it would have been the autopsy reports on this statement after she was pushed out her window. But the crime scene photo implies that she would have fallen out the window and then stabbed. At least that's the impression I get. I'll see if my hunch is right on this one.
Objection!
Nope, I was wrong. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't accept that. Well done, Your Honor. What? I was only testing you just now. Well, then why don't you try testing this penalty too? Looks like I should have spoken in haste. Okay, so that wasn't it. So, if this might be potentially important testimony, so it might have something to do with the hood. Iris didn't have her hood on. Apparently neither did Elise. But that could be something else here. Iris didn't have her hood on. Okay. I think I'll have chat chime in on this one here. What am I possibly looking at here that would end up making sense? The stabbing I saw and Elise's autopsy report. Stabbing I saw... I was right that whole time?! Damn it! My initial hunch was right to begin with, and I swapped it out for that picture.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do! My brain is something else, especially in the winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah! That's right! It says after death right here! The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Ah! Order! It's order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was thrown out of her window down to the courtyard below.
Objection!
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Dionan's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain. Wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Wah! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious payoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim would... Wah! I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. As I'm sure your honor is well aware of, then a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That is true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order, order, order! I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of the winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. Oh boy. Exactly what I was thinking. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. Alright. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I'd never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mr. Gami was stabbing Mystic Elise from the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood, not then.
I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug to the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Hold it!
Think carefully, this is very important.
It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body.
It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right. Some of it splattered onto Iris, too.
Then the defendant was arrested. She was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding?
Well, I say what I saw was what I saw. Well, what did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her plain as day.
Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add your statement to your testimony.
Was that important?
More important than you can imagine.
Hold it!
Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out.
That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt.
Buried up to the hilt.
Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. Ah!
It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding.
Nothing out of place here.
Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly happen appears to have happened.
Hold it!
Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword?
No mistaking it. I remember it all clear as day.
Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the golden statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma?
That's...
Indeed, it is strange now that you mention it.
I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery too.
Anyway, the witness saw something terrible.
So what did you do after that, witness?
Hold it!
Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct?
Well, I was unconscious.
How long were you out for?
I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly-looking head woke me up.
Oh, that must have been yeah, that was Phoenix.
By stepping on me, actually.
I'm not sure I like the method of resuscitation.
Well, I wasn't asking for mouth-to-mouth or anything of the sort, but I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you.
I shall have words with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening?
Hold it!
By Mr. Kami, you are referring to the golden statue, correct?
Just stabbing someone with the Shito, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But then to make Mystic Ami hold the blade!
Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It's easy to despise someone, and something. Anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, that's the problem. Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Anyone explain the reasoning behind that? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself... There isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Ishito from the army statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. In which the blade plunged into the hilt was plunged into the hilt. But in that case, if it was plunged pretty much all the way to the hilt, there would be a lot more blood along the length of the blade, wouldn't there? Not only would that be reflective on the sword itself, but also in the crime scene too. The blood would be much higher along the blade. I feel like that might be it.
Objection!
Bingo! Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you.
What contradictions are you talking about? Thank you for the pets. In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt to the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities.
What do you mean? Please, explain you... What?
Explain yourself! To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? Yeah! Now that he also mentions it, the fact that there are... Okay, I can probably see stabbing managing up to these, but then to try and get these other blades into the body would be hard as heck, because that's just a lot more friction points when you're making the stab. No matter how I looked at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Exactly. Iris is practically smaller than the sword itself, if not practically the height of the sword. So in her case, it would practically be a great sword, an equivalent to a great sword for her stature.
Objection!
Doesn't appear that meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weak, should I so choose. Okay, Yatsu. The objection stands. I flipped a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. But that's... We also have a problem in the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it is an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
Okay, so yeah, stabbing through would have aggravated the size of the wound. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichichido. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction.
You still got more?
This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Exactly. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword.
No! Order! What?
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth, raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? You have proven the contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichichido.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. The Shichichido was just used as a prop to the murder. the method of death is something else, and I have a feeling I know what. A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool! Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, it's because Mr. Gami was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishido was the murder weapon.
Order! Wow! Order! Ah!
So maybe this Shichishido was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That is true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth?
Let me just double-check something here. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found.
That's such a question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found.
Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
That is it, sister.
I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here? A boot? Boot to the head! Bolt.
The murder weapon, I mean, maybe. I think I know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible! What else could this old woman have seen? Old? I don't consider 40 to be old.
I saw the murder around 11 p.m., and after asking that to be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out? Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Goodness space. Tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my back and my age, you know.
Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it a perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Hold it!
You are sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple.
Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister.
Hold it!
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right, the one who trampled me.
It seems she is the type to hold a grudge.
There wasn't a phone line in the main hall, so I sent her to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright, he didn't have his cell phone on him? He had forgotten it at home, apparently. Fat and naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my VIP in hand, too.
Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back, so I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell.
Hold it!
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited.
That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much the snow falls.
Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate.
So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time?
Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used.
Ah, I see. I never thought of that.
That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then the answer to the question, please, witness. Then answer the question, please, witness.
I don't have to go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it.
Snow?
Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow.
There wasn't any snow on it? Curses! Seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusty Bridge by snowmobile?
Hold it!
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking.
There's a reason for that. Have got a moment for me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch. Just like,
oh, that is not a pleasant sound. Oh. Can you please stop that?
I haven't been able to find the courage to try anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Hold it!
Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Hold it!
While it would have been possible, time-wise, one element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would that mystery element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Wah! Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
What?
She's as over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. What was the... Trying to cook here. Was there a reason to throw away the murder weapon? She was out 10-20 minutes. That would put it... She saw the murder at around 11. She was out 10-20 minutes. That would put it at around 11:30. But according to the weather report for that, the snow stopped at 10:50, which might end up explaining why there was no snow on the snowmobile. But I don't think that's the piece I'm looking for here. And there doesn't seem to be any statement that would end up supporting that piece of evidence, so I don't think that would be it. And then going back to Miles's observation, was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? And nothing sticks out to me as to why the murder weapon would have to be thrown out, so that does bring me back to thinking it has to be related to the weather data. Okay, this one I'm actually stumped on, so I'll go ahead and let the audience chime in here. See if I can probably piece in then from the answers to how it works. Tracks photo.
Objection!
I don't see how that went. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're right. If the snowmobile was used to get to Dusky Bridge and then come back, there's only one set of tracks. There would have been a set of tracks going from the gate and to the bridge. Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should have been two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah! You're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. Tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. But that... now I see where another contradiction could fall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you... that do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory?
The idea that snowfall covered one set of tracks, there is a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index X-finger currently pointed in my direction? No need, the evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night it was a murder, the killer went to return from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. And it comes back to the weather data.
Take that!
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
Snow started to fall at 7, but stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. So, I was kind of on the right track, but I was thinking a little too far ahead. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up, or at least covered up sufficiently. You would, even in a very short amount of time, unless you have heavy snowfall, there is no way in the course of half an hour for the tracks to get covered up.
Order, order! Very well done. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in.
Wow! It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic on you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this, then. When is a weather report ever correct?
No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast, this is actual data. Yeah!
Forecast data of weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off?
Yet it stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
Yeah, there's no snow on the body. That's gotta be the conclusive evidence.
Take that!
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to, thank you for the pets. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Downem. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. Ugh. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be 2 sets of tracks! Ah!
Order! Just what are you... Yeah!
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks X left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
That does, sister.
There is only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder.
Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible! Order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. Let me go ahead and save here. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. A simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we learned all we can from this witness.
Yes, I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness, who could testify having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think it's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out into that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile? On the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being? This individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you are talking about?
Take that!
This guy must have been a product of Jean-Luc Deladouc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Downham. A student? Interesting. And why was she wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's, I could tell him about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in this snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, that exactly was it that he saw. I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry, You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. To be continued. Whew. I don't know if it's just me, but I seem to be doing a lot better when I'm acting in the role of Edgeworth than I am as Phoenix, for some oddball reason. 11:15 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
All right, I'll help you in any way I can.
First, about that night, you really didn't go to the Inner Temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met you and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room, in Hasakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the times the jokes are less distracting. Possibly. Returned to the main hall, and when she bore witness to the murder, sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile?
There is only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look at me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Diaunem?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought. No psycholocks. Very well. It is my job to get the truth. Get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Joke's less distracting? Possibly. Either that or... Yeah, I know Miles made the comments in an earlier playthrough, I think the first game, I don't know if it was during stream or maybe in between, that Phoenix, Wright, and I seem to vibe together so much. I'm kind of starting to wonder if maybe that's more applicable to Edgeworth than Wright, probably because Edgeworth does take his job seriously. I mean, that's not to say that Phoenix doesn't take his job seriously. He certainly does. But I think because he is so prone to all the bullshit going on around him, if that might be affecting his job performance to a degree, and maybe to some degree my own. Oh yes, dirtbags! Court is back in session! Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery.
Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip.
Larry, you are digging your own grave. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Ah!
Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court.
Larice Downham,
I hope you are ready. Get in here.
It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today.
Yeah.
Up until this point, it was just the judge. Now it's about...
Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court.
Hey! I was just artistically rendering... Ow! Ouch!
You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct?
Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist trading out in the mountains. We're only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for a color, viridian.
Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it?
I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is about working in the fields, isn't it?
Working in the fields?
I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope.
That's it. Thanks, buddy.
It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence.
I just happened to stop here and found a wonderful new model.
Oh gosh.
So see, I got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ow! Ouch! Ow! 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 Ouch! Ow! Ouch!
Stop your pathetic blabbling and testify like a man.
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking.
Yeah, hockey term, yeah. Cross-check, body check, into the wall, kaboom.
Witness, this was all your fault. Testify now.
This is too much for me. Oh boy, we exchanged the innuendos and jokes for total slapstick. Oh boy.
I was at that out in the mountains looking up the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. A girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small worthless man, aren't I? And why doesn't I ask for my name and occupation or anything else?
Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people.
Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything in the case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy.
Well then, let's proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Good frickin' grief.
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? One single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment here, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay in my VIP.
Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right?
Edgeworth looks like he's about to collapse. All that's missing is his head going red. See, you could do it if you try.
Ouch! Ouch!
There's only one issue here. That you saw at Dusky Bridge.
Hold it!
A number of times. How many?
Maybe 5 times. I went once every 20 minutes.
Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hole that night.
You bet! Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands.
Love.
Love, you say?
It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack. Using this blackmail letter.
Blackmail? No, that was simply a product of overflowing love. Ugh!
You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a vippering, biting vush of a witness!
So, what do you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whipping vush of a witness, eh? Well, you see?
Being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Hold it!
Larry, you really didn't see it?
Hey, no need to hit your desk. I can hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile.
Larry, say snowmobile for me, please.
Snowmobile.
If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest?
Shut up! What is this? I don't know. Don't ask me.
It seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans.
Hold it!
You didn't beat anyone.
That's right, because I got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those crimson faces. Now!
It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this in the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions to keep things moving along. Oh my god. Oh. So, I almost feel like this is set up, it's like, because this is set up like I have to actually point out every single contradiction in his statement. Look up at the stars at night. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just gonna try this just once because I still have plenty of chances left. I'm just gonna try this once just to see if my potential theory on this is correct.
Objection!
Nope. Nope, I figured. I feel like he would have saw this.
Objection!
Nope. Now I'm just wasting chances. Curses. It appears I have yet to adjust to being on this side of the courtroom. Okay, so, in just 1 minute, my theory has been disproven and I've wasted 2 chances at that. So, what am I looking for? I didn't meet anyone. Yeah, he met Phoenix that night. Shit, I forgot about that.
Objection!
Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble.
I'm sorry.
But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
Edgy, are you trying to console me?
It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
You're totally pinning this on me.
Now then, let's talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened to across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts!
That's right, me in the flesh.
Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change.
What do you want me to do then?
Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you.
Edgy, I think I finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well.
Ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder?
I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me.
That must have been the lightning strike.
I looked out the window. The Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick.
You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you?
So, what happened to the bridge after it caught fire?
It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall.
What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold.
I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination.
Yes, Mo, I see you. No.
Hold it!
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half?
Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess.
Excited? Dare I even ask?
I set the meeting time as 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait. I thought she might come early, too.
Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end.
Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart! Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. Yeah, no.
Hold it!
This light was, of course...
Lightning! Like, kerpow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Bada boom. Yag!
Or a little like that.
Ah, that's more like a punch from Miranda.
Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge?
Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so...
Hold it!
Seeing that, what did you do?
What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart.
And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge?
Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so, I don't know, I changed my mind.
I'm not sure if I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness.
Hold it!
You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that?
The lightning fell, and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out.
How far is this small shack you've in front on the bridge?
Hold on. Well, it pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk.
And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there?
Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare.
Well, should I press him for a little more info? Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you didn't.
Huh? Yeah, okay, a reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone. I just didn't have time to, okay?
Hold it!
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright?
Yeah! I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick came up yelling about murder. I told him maybe forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then, anyway.
What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less.
You told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth.
Hold it!
Let's get to that one. I don't know. So, you suddenly thought to check out the bridge. Does this mean that you initially had no intention of doing so?
Well, yeah, I guess it does. It was really cold. I didn't really want to go out there.
If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning.
In which case, please give testimony to that effect, witness. My reasoning? Okay, reasoning is it?
Hold it!
So you decided to go and see what was happening.
That's right, we were talking about a massive suspension bridge burning to high heaven. That's not something you see every day. Real like, really special?
Can you really trust a witness who is unable to pronounce spectacle?
Life seems to love hitting this poor witness below the belt. Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can. Ah!
I'll give you a few hits too if you'd like. With my whip. Something feels fishy here, but what would stand out in that case? Let me press once more on this. But why did the statement about Nick disappear? Okay, I'm kind of stumped on this one now. So what is it that I would be potentially looking at here? Yep, this is your chime-in moment, chat. That was what I was kind of initially thinking. Press it to get back to that place. Alright. Nick showed up less than a minute later. Weather data. What could... It's probably got something to do with the time on this. But I'm not quite getting how it would piece together. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not.
Hey, what the hey, Hedgie? You sound like some sort of alien.
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time.
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct?
Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge. Meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m.
Oh, sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act.
That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there, in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at the Dusky Bridge at that time.
Excuse me, I have an objection.
You do?
Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Larry's down-up. Yeah!
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Franziska von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. There is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It's clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15 p.m. I said you should stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes?
I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me.
You're about to get worse than just a pinch. Order! Ah!
So that was the missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright.
I hardly see that as much of a problem.
Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there is a phone right next to it. Why, then, did you not report the accident?
Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn?
And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Damn! Larry is really looking like a total scumbag at this point. But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought, you've been playing with us all this time.
Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I mean, you really say it this time. Everything. Yeah!
Then say it!
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing with this?
And we've reached the Allegro.
I'm a downum. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up to a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, flames had gone out and then he came running up.
I suppose artists can be strange folk.
That's right. I was willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch.
Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains.
And what would that be?
This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why do you think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reasoning out of him.
You'll regret this, Edgy.
Okay.
Hold it!
Tell us, Larry.
My name is Larice. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am.
I'm sure Edgeworth regrets it already. So do the rest of us, I guess, to some degree. Yeesh.
Just who exactly are you? I'm Larice Downham, apprentice extraordinaire.
That's what he calls himself. In any case.
Then you're an artist? Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing.
Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That is a very big issue indeed.
Hold it!
Sketching the burning bridge?
The burning bridge and everything that came with it. Nyah, nyah, nyah.
And there is that B. Arthur Zvornak 1,000-yard stare again. What came with it?
You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That sketch of mine is... Yeah!
Enough! Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, Fitness.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Look at it. Larry, I wonder if you could please show us your sketch, please.
Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this.
Imagined what?
That Larice Downham's debut would take place here, today, like this.
Ouch! Show it now!
Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Larice Downham.
Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes, it's a better drawing than I expected.
Yeah, you and me both. I was expecting it to be more scribbleish. But what the hell is this one figure?
Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did.
Yes, yes, I'm sure you did.
Ugh, this is going to get ugly.
No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine, but what is that unfortunate-looking figure?
Ah, you spotted that? I thought you might.
However much I might want to ignore it, I can't.
It's Iris, of course. Iris! I wish she'd taken better care of herself. We had planned for our future, you know? What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that?
Larry, please answer this next question honestly. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames?
Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist.
Are you high? The girl. Are you high? The girl, she's really high up in this picture.
What was that for?
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory.
Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly.
Actually, there is some precedent for this.
She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see.
This has to be some kind of a mistake.
Mr.
Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me?
This witness is your friend, is he not?
Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth.
Let's get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here.
Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well,
what do you think of my debut piece?
Get that thing away from me! Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. Her white hood fluttering?
Hold it!
Just where did you see this sight from?
Hey, no need to shout! When I was lying in bed in that rundown shack, the crack of the lightning bolt made me realize the bridge was burning. I watched it for a while from there, thinking how nicely it was burning. Then after about 5 minutes, I saw it.
What? The defendant flying.
That's right. That's why I decided to go to the bridge.
I see. That all makes sense.
Aside from the sketch itself.
Yes, the sketch doesn't make any sense. I just need to convince the artist that his work is ludicrous.
Hold it!
You transferred everything directly onto the page, and that is this sketch here?
Yep, sensational, isn't it? Or should that be scandalous? It put my mind at ease anyway.
It did.
That's right. The reason she didn't come for me, even though I waited for her, was because she was trapped on the other side of the bridge. Could it be that Iris undertook that dangerous, desperate flight in order to reach me? That's gotta be it. All right, go, me. Yikes, ouch!
Continue, please.
Hold it!
You forgot the passage of time to that extent, did you?
Well, once I got caught up in something, I tend to forget everything else.
That's true. He's always been that way. I guess he's not lying about that, at least. Phoenix Wright appeared on the scene after 11:15. If he was drawing until then, that dispels all doubts.
Aside from the doubts of his humanity, eh?
There is a big clue waiting for me in this cross-examination. This testimony does nothing less than mock the court. But I'm sure that there is a vital kernel of truth hidden in it somewhere. Well, there's only one major contradiction in there that I can think of in this case. Said the white hood is fluttering, but the hood was not on her.
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care.
In your position, that's just being irresponsible.
Pot calling the kettle black much?
I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 if that's the truth.
If that is truly the case, thank you for the pets, then there is one thing that we could say for certain.
What might that be?
That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris.
What? What do you mean? I don't understand. What?
A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct?
Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Wah!
It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? Which would kind of make sense given the circumstances.
What are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
Angie, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog!
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. Huh. That is it now, Fitness.
It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I'm gonna completely stupefy you.
What?
What is the meaning of this outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive? Evidence?
Iris didn't come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Lawrence Down, shall prove it!
Boy, this guy is really testing my patience and my voice, for that matter. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time, trust me.
When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow.
That's the sphere from Elise's staff.
I'm sure that was Iris simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
A crystal sphere?
This one, pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers.
That sphere, where did you find it? There did you find it?
Let me see. Around here somewhere? Looks about right.
And it was half buried in the snow.
It pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
The court accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward.
There's something on it.
Oh my, it's blood! What? Blood?
You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Maurice Downham only a few minutes ago?
Okay.
I feel like the contradiction is screaming at me right now, but, let's see here. Let me confirm this one last time, Larry. The reasons you thought that this was Iris are the hood and this crystal sphere, correct?
That's right. My gut net is never wrong. I'm at that old bikini next morning, and her crystal sphere was still there, safe and sound.
Indeed. She was wearing it this very room earlier today. This case isn't going to end without a fight. Exposing the obvious contradictions assessment will be easy, but I fear that all that awaits us are further mysteries. No one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. So, there are multiple things that could probably come to mind here. It was Elise who lost us the sphere from her, either presenting Laurice or the staff. No one else lost a crystal that night? Yeah, well, the staff is missing its glaring in crystal.
Objection!
Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who? Who was this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Downham, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? Thank you for the pets. I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back!
Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike!
In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime.
Ah! The crystal sphere! The crystal sphere! It's gone!
What?
What?
Just what does this mean?
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge... yeah, Major Dick. If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either.
That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Downham?
Objection!
A fool alongside another fool, on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected.
You can't do that! I saw it with my own two eyes!
And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you realize as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Downham was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Objection!
Miss Francisca von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Why are you pointing at me?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge at the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe it has nothing to do with this case? That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder.
After the murder?
There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is exactly the same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch.
What?
You mean,
I'm the killer? No wag!
all joking aside, just then did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge. Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Diaunim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere... I think I've already pieced it together. The murder weapon, it was her staff. The sphere is the sphere hard enough to bludgeon her to death. Can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed. This case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness you called will have to be nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Uh-oh. And this is one of those cases Let me save here. And this is one of those decisions where it harkens back to the final case of the first game where it's like, I have evidence, but I actually have to willfully say, no, wait, hold on a moment. Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before? I guess it is, the question I would have is, do I have what it takes to make that decision? And yes, this would be your chime in moments chat. You can. I have a feeling I know there is... Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it. That's the only opinion. That's what he'd do. That's the way Felix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You would do what? That look is... thank you for the follow, Astro Dude. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today. That look in your eyes, you remind me of Phoenix Wright, then he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. Why are you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Oh my god, I was suddenly confident into thinking I could, but now, I'm doubting. Fun fact, Rise from the Ashes was written after this case. Interesting fact. I see you have that NASA badge value. Were you a witness of the Artemis 2 launch, or just a fan of that? Kind of curious. Prove that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Well, I do have chances left. Launch, lunar flyby, and splashdown. Ooh, it's quite. That was something to enjoy. I only caught it on TV, more or less. Well, I have a chance here, so my one gut tells me that maybe it was dropped. Dropped before the murder. Alright, I'll just take a chance on something here. Wait, unless something is jumping out at me. Yeah, because the trilogy was made on GBA before Ashes was made on DS. Yeah, right. Found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge the night of the crime, has blood on it. Okay, so maybe it might have been in there because it would line up with the weather report, considering that it was half covered in snow. So maybe the weather report?
Take that!
Nope. Your response, Miss Von Karma? Birds of a feather flock together. Are you familiar with this phrase? Miles Edgeworth. I think one such bird is calling for his fellow now.
Go, Edgy. Do it. Prove it. Win, win, win.
This cheering is just... Oh, I'm listening to an ominous cause of ravens. Okay. Well, a chance, Your Honor. I cannot turn back after coming all this way. The time of the murder and when the crystal sphere was dropped. I need to find proof that the latter happened first. Dropped before the murder. Ugh. All right. And so... Last chance. What evidence would conclusively prove it? Proof that the sphere was dropped. The sphere itself? Geez, that's quite a way to go about it.
Take that!
This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct?
That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it.
That's all I need to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear.
Well, what?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah! Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
What? That? Order!
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose.
What could have done it been?
This sphere, there is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool, and which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention all this whole time, Miles Edgeworth?
The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant at Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Objection!
That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing!
No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost, just at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. That statement is the truth. Then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed. Thus, there was no bleeding.
Objection!
You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Elysianum's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest that someone carried the body all that way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly plausible. Oh, fuck. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. And I'm all out of chances, which means this is going to come down to just save and repeat. Ugh. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. This is the only thing that stands out. The snowmobile was used to bring the body to the temple.
Take that!
On that snowy night, there is one way a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Taken for the pets? Order! Yeah! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth! You have dug yourself into your own grave! What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, Elise Diaunum, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection!
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that would hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy! Thank you!
That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
Ugh!
Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright.
Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me. Ouch!
Miles Edgeworth, I don't care what you were here to do.
This is my chance to finally grind you under my heel!
A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by.
A shame, Francie!
This is all your fault! Such a terrible witness! You are an affront to all the legal system stands for!
Ow, 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 ouch!
I demand satisfaction! God damn! She really put Larry in his place! I cannot believe that the witness testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises.
Dead! Dead! Not big surprise.
Have his words today been truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that should be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defendants and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright? Court is now adjourned. To be continued. Phew! Talk about escaping by the skin of one's teeth. Oh. Yeah, I usually do not expect the evidence that is recently presented to automatically be the same evidence that would end up proving something in that case. It's usually something that isn't presented earlier that might end up playing a role in it, but nope. This one was a curveball. Phew. So with that, we'll wrap it up here for today and save this for next week. So this is going to be a very interesting case. I wonder how it's going to end up turning out here.